Okay, everyone wants to find their person, but you don't want to be had at hello. So here with tips on detecting love scams from the AARP Fraud Watch Network is Amy Nofziger. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
We are sort of obsessed with this because there's the Tindler Swindler on Netflix.
So how does that happen? How does that guy take money from people and they continue to give him, what, $10 million, right?
Because they fell in love with a conniving criminal.
Yes.
And that is it. Just like I fell in love with my husband, they fell in love with him, and he told a really good story. I mean, people are losing billions of dollars to these scams. Just last year, it was reported that $574 million lost. I take that number, multiply it by 10 or even 20, because these scams are hugely underreported.
Okay, so I'm not on a dating app because I'm married. But it seems to me, and after watching that Netflix story, I started to feel like, okay, so I'm a woman, 36, and I'm alone. I'm on those dating apps. I'm already vulnerable to the idea of being in love. Somebody comes along, he woos me. I assume if somebody says, I love you online, that should be a big red flag, first of all, right? That to pull you in so quickly, although I'm married,
if it's too good to be true, it's probably
too good to be true.
But they make it true, right? They make these stories true. And everyone wants to be in love, just like you said. Everyone wants to find their person. So sometimes the red flags aren't as noticeable to you and I sitting here in a committed relationship. But bottom line, we need to learn these red flags because, again, our families are losing money, our friends are losing money, and we in our American economy are losing money.
How do we identify?
Let us identify.
Let us
how
do
do
this.
you know?
Okay, so red flag, they will tell you that they're American, but working out of the country, in the military, on an oil rig, or a missionary doctor. Anything to keep them away from visiting you, right? They also, and this is a new trend, they will say that they're self-made millionaires that made money in Bitcoin. Now, of course, they'll help you invest into that Bitcoin themselves, but also it throws you off of their scent. You think they have money. Why would they need to ask me for money, right? They always have a financial crisis that they need money from you. Usually, emergency, usually in prepaid gift cards, Bitcoin, or a peer-to-peer app. They do profess love quickly. We call it love bombing. They will send overly flirtatious text messages and just love bomb you. They will also ask you to open up bank accounts. And this is a really big problem. They'll ask you to open up bank accounts. It does sound like a bad idea because what they're asking you to do is launder their money. So you are actually committing a federal offense that you can be held accountable for. And finally, here's a huge red flag. Let's all just repeat this. Stop sending nudes. Just stop sending nude photos.
And we focus right on it.
Stop.
By the way, don't send nudes no matter how old you are to anybody anywhere.
No, they will ask for nude photos as part of the romancing. But what they will do is once you stop sending them money, they will use those nude photos to blackmail you. They threaten to send it to your friends, family, church, even your boss.
But they also ask for a donation for causes sometimes too, right?
Yes, and when they say that they're a missionary doctor, they'll say they're doing, God's work overseas and they need money. Anytime anyone asks for a charitable donation to anything, do your research. There's a lot of scams out there, especially with the world events happening right now. Do your research.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you, now there's so much going on in the world, and right now there's a lot of donations on Instagram and everything. How can we help refugees? So how do you know if it is a legitimate...
Yeah, do your research. You can go to give.org, Charity Navigator, any of those sites. Don't just click on a link that comes to you over social media or via your email. It could be ransomware, malware, anything like that. Just, again, do your research and go to a legitimate source.
Oh, my gosh.
Being single is a lot of work.
I know, it is.
I mean, it's rough.
And by the way, enough with the nudes.
Married. No.
Thank you, Amy. Great to see you.
Oh, gosh,
More information,
thank you so much.
go to KellyandRyan.com on that topic, and we'll be right back.